My father and I, when we split,
Yep.
it it wasn't a good split. Uh,
Okay.
so going off on my own, I went into some furniture showrooms and I looked at the owner and said, "I can clean anything in this showroom, and I'm going to give you 2 days for free.
Wow.
All,
Bold.
all I ask is that you refer me." The
Yeah.
first day, he gave me 5 referrals.
Yeah.
And I started a relationship where he allowed me to set up a shop in the back of his building.
Oh, wow.
And within the
That-
first month, I had a key to the place.
That's
And
awesome.
he hooked me up with a company called Soil Shield.
Okay.
Soil Shield was a protection company where if you had it sprayed by Soil Shield, if the spot didn't come out, uh, um, they would uh, replace whatever the add-on furniture was.
Wow. Yeah. So a solid warranty because they back their product well. Yeah.
Yeah, they backed it with me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Welcome to the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, a show created to inspire carpet cleaning business owners to build their own thriving residential and commercial cleaning business. Your host, John Clendenning, has built and sold successful cleaning businesses for multiple six figures over his 30-year career and is the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, a digital agency that turns your online marketing into a lead generation machine. Tune in as John shares proven tips, strategies, and expert interviews to help fast-track your success in the carpet cleaning industry.
Hey, well, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast. I've got somebody I've wanted to have on the podcast for a while now since we had a chat a couple months ago. I can't remember, 3, 4 months ago. So we're talking to Mark Goodman today. If you've been in the cleaning industry 30 years like me or longer, I know you've known the name. I knew the name when he popped up on my radar. So Mark is the Mark from Mark the Carpetbagger. So Hollywood Hills, his dad ran that business and grew that. Then he became Fiber Mark, right? So and then has coalesced the two businesses together. He's the cleaner to the stars. Best way to mention it. That's how I knew of his name prior to ever having met him. And I wanted to get him on this podcast for a while just to, tell us a bit of the wisdom and the years and the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations from being a rug rat as a kid, like my kids were, all the way to, now running the business, having the business run by the office and not having to be in there day to day and stuff like that. So welcome to the podcast, Mark. I really appreciate you jumping on today.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the story. Like I gave a little bit of a Cole's notes, the part I know, but so tell us a little bit about what, you grew up as a carpet cleaning rug rat, as we call it.
Yeah, my
What
father,
attracted dad to the business and then why did you carry on it?
um, my father started back in 1963,
Wow.
and he went to law school, but decided he liked working with his hands instead.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was a nut job because that idea and then the idea of Persian rugs, he loved it, and
Okay.
I never understood it. Being in the business now, I totally get it, and
Yeah.
I love it also.
So did he start with like the area rugs and the Persian rugs, or was it, just the traditional wall-to-wall carpet and
It was
Von
well,
Schrader?
well,
Like what was 1963 is quite a long time ago. I don't, did we even have truck mounts back then?
he did not have a truck mount back then,
Yeah.
and my grandfather owned a building in Westwood,
Okay.
and which is now a parking lot for UCLA. But anyway, uh, as people would move in and move out, my dad would clean apartments for my grandfather.
Hmm.
And he was in school at UCLA, in law school,
Yeah.
and then decided law school was not for him. He liked the idea of cleaning. He liked the immediate satisfaction, whereas
Yeah.
you're going to wait a year or so to get some kind of kudos. And
Yeah.
um, he didn't like that aspect. He liked working with his hands and his head, and he built his company.
How big did he get it? Like, so 1963, by the time you kind of showed up in the business and understood what it was, not just somebody, showing up and seeing what area rugs are and stuff like that. How big did did he get did his business before he sort of retired out and you were doing your own thing by then?
Yeah, I was in business the same time my dad was,
Yeah.
which was great around the dinner table. Um,
Were you competing for the same clients? Was it because I know you do the high end, and did you get that from dad, or was that something you've
yeah,
transitioned into?
it
Yeah.
did happen, and it did happen.
Yeah.
We just have two different personalities,
Yeah.
and I was able to take the business much farther and do a lot more with it.
Hmm.
When I was working with him, it was a joke because he would go into a house and get an $800 job, and I'd go to a similar house and I'd bring a $8,000 job.
Yeah.
And it's not that I was doing anything different.
Yeah.
So
You just be able to talk and tell a better story and just connect with the people a little bit better and stuff like that, maybe, or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, it's that's really the crux of the business.
Mm.
Personalities and um, knowledge, being able to tell the stories that
Yeah.
the clients need to hear.
Yeah, because it's in those stories that they understand that they can start to know, like, and trust you and realize your recommendations are coming from a place of good faith. And when you're talking about like $8,000 residential, I'm sure we just knocked a few people off their seats. And if you're driving in traffic listening to this, yep, that you heard a real number. But when you target the right people, then we are in a business that should be repeat retention, referral. Ideally, when we do it right, we create the environment where people trust us, they trust our team as we start to have to hand it off to employees and stuff like that. And we have to start
Yeah,
hiring the right people that can that can do what we did, at least as close enough that we don't lose the business, that
I'm
we
glad.
keep those retention referrals. How did you make that transition? Because that's always a big moment where, yeah, I can do it well, but I can't train anybody to do it well.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that's a huge hurdle.
Yeah.
Um, and unfortunately, sometimes you just have to say, well, the client isn't going to know the difference between my work and my employees. It's close.
Mm.
And I don't feel good about that statement
Mm.
because I know how I clean and how I do things and how I get them clean and how I talk to the clients. And I can't expect anyone to be me.
Yeah.
I had some close calls. And on the other hand, they might go out on their own.
Yep. Yeah, and sometimes that's not a bad thing. I've had technicians over the years that um my goal was never to keep them forever. I would love to, especially our best guys. But I mean, I think the longest I ever had anybody was 8 years. Joe, lovely guy. But we had other guys 4 and 5 years that eventually decided, I'm going back to trade school, or I'm going one became an optometrist. So he worked with us for a couple of years and then went to university in the same town. So we were able to keep him as our one of our backup guys for the next 4 years as he went to university, evenings, weekends,
Yeah,
all, like summer break, stuff like that. If we can help a person out, if they're good and they represent our company well,
You make
then
room.
yeah, you hang on to them as hard as you can.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had many people like that where I've
Yeah.
accommodated their schedule
Yeah.
because I'd rather have them than not.
Yeah. And
Um,
how did you start that? Like starting is always that hard part because you again, you just go to your website alone and you see the list of customers that, everybody knows their names, the Mike Tysons and Steven Spielbergs and stuff like that. The list is just a who's who of Hollywood. If you had to go all the way back to why you started that, because there's hundreds of other cleaners, thousands probably have come and gone in your area, but hundreds at any given time that don't make that transition. And there's like only a couple of you that actually sort of kind of compete and target in that, get trusted by that crowd,
right.
let alone anything where they talk about how did you get that started? How did that ball get rolling that sort of turned into the repeat and retention engine that it became?
Um, Good question. Oh, you can't sit here and say, I want to work for Spielberg.
No.
Although sometimes I used to read the real estate section and find out who's buying and who sold and where they're going. And
Okay. There's a tip.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't do that anymore. Although it doesn't stop me from reading. That's
Yes.
um,
And
and
then did you reach out to the real estate agent? Did you reach out to the, like, you're not going to get a hold of, again, Aaron Spelling. You're not going to get a hold of, whatever. How did you sort of say, hey, I'm in this market. Those are my people. I can't go to them directly. I got to kind of run around and find the people managing the property, managing the house, another service provider that's the landscaping. Like, how did you sort
yeah.
of break that thing?
Um, Fortunately, Mr. Spelling's um, I forgot what you call him, personal assistant
Yeah.
knew me, and I knew him from another house. So now he's again at another house, bringing
Yeah.
bringing me there. So with these estate managers, if you make them look good and you uh, educate them, they'll
Yeah.
they'll keep you, and
Yeah.
they will refer you to
Yeah.
estate managers. Um, so
Yeah, and see what I found is that works as well in like, so if you're not in we're talking estate managers, we're talking like mansions and all that kind of stuff. Some people are in marketplaces where they don't have that, but there are still interior designers. There are still the real estate agents that work with the executive that live around Golf Course Road and stuff like that. There is still the opportunity where your average job is $800 to $1,000 when your competitors are still 3 rooms in a hall for $99 because those people that in those worlds you need that referral in, you need that endorsed trust. So
what I did is I gave something that I call the dirty class.
okay.
The dirty class is educating designers and
Mm.
housekeepers, house staff, how,
Yeah.
how to deal with things when they happen and what not to do. And
Really? Where did you give those classes? Like, how did you get that rolling? Because that's brilliant. I used to go in front of real estate offices and stand in front of them and not teach them about my business, Acclaim Carpet Cleaning. I would teach them about, hey, how to tell if a rug needs to be removed or a carpet's removed and replaced before you list the house, or when you can actually have them clean, deodorize, sanitize, whatever. And if you don't know, call me in. I'll do a free assessment and leave the homeowner a free bottle of spotter for between showings. Right? They loved me for that. That was just my
right.
presentation. Right? How did you get or where did you do yours? Like how did you do your dirty class in front of people?
um, I did them at colleges in the design departments. And um, yeah, so a couple schools came to my office, to my shop, because it was better to do it there. because I was set up to show them the differences between synthetic and wool and what cleans better.
Perfect. If you pause for one quick second, we'll just cut this part out. But if you can turn your camera back on, I think you might have just hit a button with it. We just lost your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Our editors will deal with it. We're good. Perfect. Okay, so you mentioned this. You ran a class out of your shop. You ran, and like you met with these people. You gave education. Education is like retention, repeat referral, retention business. Educate the public is the industry we're in. Well, we got a lot of people that think it's a lead gen business. I just need more leads. I need more leads, and they have a leaky bucket where they don't deliver a world-class service across their staff. They don't retain their clients for a repeat visit. They don't just stay in touch. They don't educate after the sale as well to get the next sale, right? To all that kind of stuff, right? What did you guys do over the years, and what do you guys do now that sort of make sure that, somebody else isn't nipping at your heels and saying, maybe meeting somebody that a new house manager because Aaron Spelling or Tori Spelling has, hire somebody new and they don't know you guys. Like, how do you make sure that you guys stay in the places you're in right now with the office that's running the business for you? What do they do now that they've picked up from you?
I have them reach out to the house again.
Okay.
I do a lot of showrooms, and I just had my new manager go into the showrooms, introduce himself.
Yeah.
And I called the showrooms first, letting them know that he's going to come by and do this.
Yeah. And what kind of showrooms? Like where we do like what
that sell, $50,000 sectionals.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It's all European.
Yeah.
Or,
So sort of when you see if you watched any of those like the behind the scenes come in and see my house, or if you watch the Michael Jackson special where part of it he's walking through, they shut down an entire high end showroom of something he's watching. I'll take two of those and one of those, and it's like he's not even like it's a Ming vase. He doesn't even like it. Money doesn't matter kind of idea. So
right.
You're talking showrooms for the people that outfit these houses and yeah.
Yeah. And then so not only do I get the client, I have the showroom.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do, I'll give the showroom, the person that referred me, a kickback.
Okay.
I hate that word, but we all know what it means. I'll give him 10%.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And is that a formal relationship you have with some of them will keep it like everybody's different. Some people go, you know what? Love you, Mark. Yeah, just that's cool. Other ones want it sort of like, I will refer you. Here's my, I will give them this code and if, whatever. Do you have some formal ones or is it all kind of, old boy club word of mouth?
Nothing formal about it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then what that does is it leaves me the door open where I just call them and say, hey, John, how you doing? How's business? So I could do for you. Do you have any clients you want to refer me to?
Yeah.
And they'll usually say, I have a client that is waiting for the delivery, but I want you to protect everything before it gets to the house.
Perfect. Yep.
So
yeah, I used to do that with so I was in a theater town, like there's the theater crowd, right? On all this kind of stuff. So Shakespearean theater town. And so obviously when I realized that early on, I need to know every interior designer, every bed and breakfast back in the day, before the days of Airbnb, all that kind of stuff, all the high-end hotels. But yeah, every interior designer, how I got into them is I called them up and introduced myself and did all that. But I also just brought coffees and just chatted up between jobs or between outs and abouts with the reupholsterers because interior designers love putting the most expensive and hardest to clean fabric an item, and there is very few people that knew how to do it. And I would chat up the upholsterer, usually older guys that have been doing the craft for years, and they would put my business cards on the counter. They would introduce me to all the interior designers, saying, if you're putting that fabric on, you need to talk to John, right? So sounds like a similar, know a lot of people, the right people, and stay in touch with them and be real.
And also, when I did get phone calls, I wanted people to call me to pick my brain for which materials to use.
Yeah.
Um, because a lot of designers don't know shit about cleaning.
They don't know crap at all. You're right.
Expensive and what they want to use.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I
Well, I'm
like
glad to hear now that Haitian cotton isn't their go-to anymore. Do you remember those days? Like go back, everybody put Haitian cotton in everything and nobody knew how to clean it back in the day. And we were like one of the few. So
seats
yeah.
that opened up.
Yeah.
Up a blue one, a green one, a yellow one, a red one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I come
Now,
across every so often.
yeah. So right now you've got the carpet company sort of running like that way where you've got people that are still making those connections and staying in those referral partner relationships. Again, as casual as you guys have them, but you're introducing yourself around how many like Howard Partridge talked about that for years as well. How aggressive or active would you say sort of staying in touch with the ones keeping them educated, helping them out anywhere you can? Is it a monthly just to check in every 3 months and then finding new ones, like finding a new showroom, finding a new interior designer so that you keep that pond stocked kind of idea and not just hang your hat on two or three and one of them retires or moves away and next thing you know you're down. Like how have you kept the momentum?
What I love about designers is they have staff,
Yeah.
and the staff and they always go off on their own.
Okay.
So
So one becomes two becomes yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
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 So there's a couple really big designers that I worked for, and
Mhm.
uh, I got an email the other day, and I knew the designer died,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
all of her little the girls, all the helpers, all went off on their own. So
Yeah.
I like when that happens because it's not even a sale. They already
Yeah.
They're calling me because they know that their boss relied on me and they saw our work.
Yeah.
So
And that's so what I tell a lot of people nowadays, because you know, we're in that age bracket to be straight up, where the younger crowd is like, how we run our business is how dad would have run a business, how grandpa would have run a business. And you actually literally have dad and grandpa in the business. Well, I didn't, I was first generation in cleaning, but it's, the old days when business owners talked to business owners and knew each other and referred each other and trusted each other. Not saying that the internet broke that, but there's a lot of people that hid behind, let me just try and be a brand, right? Maybe franchising didn't help this as well because they all try and hide behind a brand. But even in a franchise, the owner should put himself out there in the public to be the expert in the category, right? If you're in cleaning and textiles, how do you educate the public anywhere you can? Because when you come across being the one they can go to like that, the thought leader, then it is where the staff says, hey, or you've got a property manager and he leaves this building and goes to that one. Not only did he hand you off to the other guy because, hey, I've always used these guys, they're great. He goes to the new building and says, by the way, I want to bring my carpet cleaning company with me because they're better than the guys you got. Right.
if
And
that's the case, yes.
yeah, if it can happen, like you want to build that little bit of a muscle. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so to get into and this is what we tell a lot of our the people that follow me is how do you get into these higher end neighborhoods when they don't trust the commodity marketing, 80-90% of carpet cleaners, 3 rooms in a hall, 99, 169, 199, whatever they're up to these days. And your vans will be rusty. You can't keep a business like it. You can't keep enough employees like that. You can't make enough money like that to whatever, but that's what everybody sees. So they think that's the business. And they try and get into these neighborhoods. They have no clue how to get into it because they think it's the same thing. Oh, let's just put coupons on their doorstep. And I don't think there is somebody living on Golf Course Road that cares about a $99 special carpet cleaning coupon.
You'd be
It's the
surprised.
wrong message. Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
We're paying you thousands, and this guy's going to do the same thing for $99.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it is that relationship with the house manager or the person that trusts you. Like if they trust the interior designer and the interior designer trusts you, you've come across that bridge, right? So now you've got the you've got at least the foot in the door with a bit of authority, and then you can start your game.
Well, the
Right.
other thing is, like you said, people know the name.
Yeah.
So I have that first. Then I
Yeah.
come with the designer, and then the showroom selling them the products are referring me to.
Yeah.
So you got 3 different avenues of
Yeah.
being.
And what do you think was the biggest way for you to get the name out? Because that is like that brand awareness helps everything. Like people doing pay-per-click in smaller markets and stuff like that, where if you know the brand, your pay-per-click works twice as good. If you're the best known cleaner in the marketplace, your door hangers, your every door mail, even like into the right neighborhoods, like everything works better because you have a brand awareness to start with. How did you get the name out there first? Oh, obviously your dad, but then Fibermark, and because that's a whole new name, that's a whole new product, right? And a whole new business. How did you get the name out there so that you did have a bit of name equity in the marketplace?
I had trucks that were lettered.
Yeah.
I'd walk into showrooms, into real estate agencies,
Yeah.
put the carpets in upholstery, and I'd say, I can get that spot out.
Mm.
I,
Yeah.
I can do right now, and I'm going to do it for free. All I ask
Awesome.
is to refer me.
Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome. Because Give to Get, Bob Berg, The Go-Giver. I recommend that book to anybody. Listen to it if you don't read. Right? You're in the truck all day long or you're driving around, you're out doing these meet and greets. Listen, like learn that I can take that out for free. I want to give you a bit of value, some value, to start this relationship off. If you lead with a giving hand, it comes across way more genuine.
So my father and I, when we split,
Yeah.
it wasn't a good split.
Okay.
So going off on my own, I went into some furniture showrooms, and I looked at the owner and said, I can clean anything in this showroom, and I'm going to give you 2 days for free.
Wow.
All,
Bold.
all I ask is that you refer me.
Yeah.
The first day he gave me 5 referrals.
Yeah.
And I started a relationship where he allowed me to set up a shop in the back of his building.
Oh, wow.
And within the
That's
first month, I had a key to the place. And
awesome.
he hooked me up with a company called Soil Shield.
Okay.
Soil Shield was a protection company where if you had it sprayed by Soil Shield, if the spot didn't come out, they would uh, um, they would uh, replace whatever the item furniture was.
Wow. Yeah. So a solid warranty because they back their product well. Yeah.
Yeah, they backed it with me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
And then
So what got you so confident? Because I know you do you do the heirloom stuff and the specialty fabric care and high-end furnishings. And we've talked about that already, but that is one of your like your company's claim to fame. How did you get so confident in that ability to walk in and make that statement? Because the reason, again, nobody else did. That's, you stood out like, hey, I'm willing to do this for free. I'm willing to build the relationship with you and prove myself to you. And you had the confidence to do it. Where did the confidence come from?
Ego.
Okay. Any training at all, or just ego? Like how did you know you weren't going to turn a Haitian cotton couch brown?
Sometimes I did,
Okay.
and then had to fix it.
Yeah.
So, on-site training.
Yeah.
Um,
On the job training. It's like build the plane on the way down training. Yeah. That's awesome.
I protected this wall that had 3 foot by 2 foot panels that
Mhm.
were padded, and the wall itself was. They used the wall as a headboard.
Okay.
It protected it, and it left lines. And it's because the sprayer nozzle was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the problem was the designer called me later and said, "Mark, we've got a big problem." I went back to the house, and the guy I was with, he goes, "Mark, let's just overspray it." So
Yeah.
we sprayed the whole wall again, and overspread it much heavier.
Yeah.
So it just blended in.
Turn the whole thing into one big line, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Uh,
I think you're right. Part of it is sort of being willing to be smart enough to be willing to take that risk, but jump in and do it. Friend of mine, PJ, in Auckland, New Zealand, had one of the buildings. He does clean. He works for high-end buildings and high-end properties and stuff like that. And one of the commercial buildings there asked him if he happened to know anything about drive or the parking lot line painting, just as an example. And PJ went, you know what? Let me look into that for you. Came back and he said, you know what, I think we can do that for you. And one of my guys is willing to do it. So they secured the contract, bought the equipment, did the lines. One of his guys didn't mind, sort of doing that kind of stuff as well. They do commercial and residential and industrial sort of cleaning and stuff like that. And yeah, and have a whole new line of business that they want now. The job paid for the equipment, the equipment he needed, the set. It's a lot of labor and a little bit of machinery, and now he's got something else he can offer because he does commercial buildings and stuff like that.
nice.
Yeah. So again, that idea, just be willing to help and learn and do. So, and then yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of ego or confidence to say, hey, because that walking in the door is a key that people miss, to be honest, right? How did I get to $10,000 a month in 1995 as a kid that just came off the road in a rock band? Well, Tony Robbins, Awake the Giant Within, because I'm shy. I hated talking to people. So I moved to a new town. I wouldn't know anybody other than my sister and my brother-in-law, rented a broom closet and just started walking up and down the street doing exactly what I did. I'm here. I want to introduce myself and I'm willing to take a free spot out. Free spots and stains, right? Some of them I got referrals. Some of them turned into great relationships. The one hotel I walked into, the mother that like she owned the hotel, but father had died. Kids were running it, like a big hotel around the theater. And Eleanor turned out to they gave me a try on one hallway. And it turns out Eleanor knew everybody, ran the town almost, and took me under her wing, saw this young kid, and had me clean the house. Thought I was, again, nice relationship. And she said, "Are you part of the Airbnb association? You're part of the property manager association, whatever." No. Well, I am. I'm going to take you to the next meetings with me. Right. Had I met hundreds of people before I met Eleanor? Yeah, but I continued to meet people. And then I met Eleanor. And then I continued to meet a lot more people.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah. So there might be an Eleanor, or there might be one of these designers. There might be the 50th person you meet. It might be the second. It might be the 100th. So just keep going.
Yeah.
Right. That's the growth. That like let them get the name out there in today's world, online, offline, everywhere, walk in the door, but just be grow the business again the way grandpa and dad would. Show up. Don't hide behind, you know, I need a Google ad, I need a Facebook ad. You can do that to promote the brand. Sure, get the word out. But again, if they know you already, they will pick that ad. If they don't know you already, now it's a crapshoot. Now your ad costs are way through the roof as well, right? So
Yeah.
that's all part of it. So how big is the company right now? Like how many staff does the
I have,
cleaners the crew?
and 2 people in the office.
And how many on the road? Sorry.
6.
Six, perfect. Yeah. And there, do you have different levels of competence? Like if somebody's going out to do an heirloom something, is that certain guys in the company versus everybody cross-trained and know how to do the fancier stuff that you would have known how to do?
Um, when you say cross-train, that's an interesting term, and the reason being is the cleaning has a simplicity to it.
Mm,
Um, through the years, I've noticed a lot of times you don't need all these chemicals. And you can get away with a hand tool often with a lot of spots,
yeah.
and you learn just by using water or something that's non-soapy to fix
Yep.
things.
Yeah. And I think part of that is the higher end the stuff is, the better it started anyways. So in a lot of cases, again, except for these Haitian cottons, if you know how to use them, but there is a sort of a low end builder's grade something is, terrible. But a high end luxury
Well, there are
will, yeah, there's a
there
little
are
bit,
silk things you got to
yeah.
be careful with, and then of course the 4-letter word viscose.
Yep, gotta love those viscose area rugs and rayon furniture and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, people don't really want to hear what you say about viscose because the rug cost them 20 grand through the
Yeah.
designer. Oh, she told me it was silk. Well,
Mm, yeah.
don't be mad at her because she was probably told it was silk also.
Yeah.
So,
Now, do you run them in an area rug like the area rugs that you do? Are they back at an area rug shop? Do you do do you
I,
take them out and do plant cleaning on them?
yes,
Yeah.
got a 7,000-foot building. And
Yeah.
I don't have any of the fancy, uh,
Pits and dryers and spinners and
no,
no.
I do have a rack to hang things when
Yeah.
I'm done. But being in Santa Monica, I've every environment law there.
Yeah.
I can't even wash my trucks.
So do you dust them at least? Do you use like the rug badger or one of those? Are you like do you do the grid and the shaking or
I had Dusty come out to my shop,
yeah.
and, and he did a hard sell, my father and I, and we bought one, but we returned it soon after.
Okay.
It just wasn't for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't even bother with that sort of thing. It's like again, as you said, keep it simple has been your your claim to fame is like don't be like there's a lot of people that as technicians of the industry, they're almost technician first. They're really happy with their zipper wand and their X PSI truck and which is great, but the customer doesn't necessarily see that massive difference as a in the end result because it as we always know it's the person doing the cleaning and their attention to detail that still becomes one of the most important aspects of it
Yeah,
is the right person on the job.
you could have the right person using a portable and the right person using a truck mount, and
Yep.
you do a great job. And
Yep.
that, so I don't own a truck mount. I used
Yeah.
to, but um, personally, I like truck mounts. I like the heat. I like the suction. I like
Yeah.
cleanliness. And we only use portables. because
Yeah.
do only, you know, 90% residential.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, and I think in the houses that you're in as well, like that whole hoses through the house and all the way, like if you can just like if you can move from this wing to that wing and here to there, it kind of there's an efficiency to not having tied up to one machine roaring in the driveway, right? So
the presentation isn't great.
yeah,
The door is open, you have a loud noise, you have water dripping. Um, there's nothing pretty about that.
yep,
And you
yeah,
have,
I agree. Yeah.
and I've hired companies to come into my home that are,
Mhm. Yeah. Now, did you do that as a sort of almost like a mystery shop to see how they're doing, or what was the reason why
yeah,
you brought other
yeah,
people in? Yeah. Yeah.
excuse
So
me.
no, so and I agree. I think we all need to do that as well. I mean, if we're not mystery shopping our competitors on how they're answering the phones, how they're pricing, how they're working with clients, we just always think we're the best, which is great, but we should also be the best with a little bit of governance to know, is somebody starting to come up and nip at my heels, right?
Yeah,
Let's see what they're all about so that I can learn from them if I need to, or at least understand when I'm educating my clients, we do this, most of the others do this. And you come from a place of knowing, not just guessing. So,
yeah.
yeah.
The the other reason I use someone else is because um, I live 30 miles away from my shop.
Yeah.
And my dad was about 45, and he was
Yeah.
getting three guys to clean his home. I said, "No, you're not." I said, "We're going to hire a company over by you."
Yeah.
He goes, "I want another company." But it doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
to hire up three guys that can make money for us and
Yeah.
just pay the other guy that's going to be cheaper anyway.
Yeah. That's
So,
interesting. But yeah, especially at that distance, yeah, keep the guys busy where they are. They're going to be happier too. It's okay to go and clean the boss's house or whatever that, but it's always they prefer not to as well. The technicians are, you know what I mean? Like it's yeah. So good on both ends. You get a bit of mystery shopping going on and you also keep the guys in their lane as well. So
yeah.
yeah.
Plus,
So
I
yeah,
have
no, go ahead.
I have them come to my house and clean, and I actually train them while they're here.
Okay. Yeah.
So
And who does the training now? Because I know you're sort of work from home and stuff like that. Who like as the company has matured and as you well established, do you have like a technician manager that's been around for years that trains the other guys? Is it a rotation like we talked about earlier? How do you kind of make sure the newest guy in the door gets up to speed because of you know
yeah,
needs to be congenial, but he also has to do a great job. You know, he's got to treat the homeowner like he's their nephew or grandson. You know what I mean? Kind of idea. You got to have the right people that can present and also have the attitude to want to deliver that great result.
yeah, that's the most important is you need someone that wants to do a good job.
Yeah.
Because I tell people you are your worst critic.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can make me happy, I know that the clients can be happy.
Yeah.
So, and as for
Yeah.
the question about who, um, we cross train,
Okay.
meaning you could go out with this guy this day, this guy the other day, and
Yeah.
they'll learn different ways to do everything.
Yeah. And how many guys are typically on a job because you're in the bigger homes? I don't think it'd be a lot of one guy on a job getting bogged down forever. Like, do you send multi crews out to the bigger jobs, bigger homes if they're doing, you know, a large swath of upholstery and carpets or whatever?
Um, typically, two guys in a
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes we'll have two trucks going somewhere, depending on how big. Um,
Yeah. And what is the mix of services right now, Ben? Like, so because again, with those house managers and stuff like that, and interior designers, they kind of like to know that they can call somebody. You do the area rugs, you'll do the heirloom furniture and stuff like that. What else do you like, and the carpets obviously, but what else do you do? Like, do you get into the tile and grout cleaning or the stone floor
No,
cleaning?
I
Nope.
don't.
Do you refer somebody for that you trust, or do you leave that to the,
I
to
have
them?
one, I referred
Yeah.
him, and I told him if he doesn't start reciprocating, I'm going to stop. He
Yeah.
goes, Mark, I tell everybody, I said, well, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I told him how to do it. I said, James, you know how you're doing all the floors? You're typically doing the entry, right? Well, what's in the entry before you do the floor? Those,
The area rug.
yeah.
Yeah.
I said, why don't you just always tell them that you're going to get this clean for them?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No, again, I think that's part of that whole, the right people in our lives know the right people. If they do a good job and are willing to work and referable, like if they're referable, they should be willing to reciprocate anyways, because that becomes that relationship that we all know about, right? So it's like the old folks used to, the old business owners, the guys would sit around the barber shop on Saturday with the butcher over here and the whatever, you sit and chat and tell stories and refer each other and, all of that kind of stuff. Like that became what BNI groups eventually, and that whole idea is, can you know somebody you can trust to refer and make it a win-win relationship for both sides. So what other services? So we got the carpet, the
would you,
upholstery, the area rug. Is there anything else on that? Do you do any draperies? Do you do like? Is there any like where does it end?
we will do draperies,
Eh,
but I don't like doing them.
No, they've always sucked. But yeah, do you do them in place or do you take them out?
I do not take them up or down.
Good. Yeah, that is the moment where every clip decides it wants to break, and it's yeah. So yeah, good
And
call on that one.
you've
You guys
got,
do leather as well, like leather cleaning, restoration, things like that. Any?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's a big service because again, people in higher end homes have their leather and they still have their dogs and cats that want to scratch on this or whatever. They spill something on that. They don't know they didn't know they got nubuck. They didn't know they got, what do you, the aniline dye, it doesn't have a coating on it. They didn't realize that, that bagel, butter and cream cheese size down is going to actually leave a mark, on their leather and stuff like that. So knowing how to clean it, one thing, knowing how to actually restore it and be a little bit more in that level, does definitely put you in front of interior designers and higher end people as well. That's a skill that's a specialty that the rest of the crowd will choose not to learn probably.
right.
Right. So
And,
all of those are things. So
and, and
yeah.
I
So I think, yeah, go
I
ahead. Yes.
do it myself. I,
Yeah.
I outsource several things that we do.
Okay.
I outsource my draperies. I outsource my leather. I outsource my air duct cleaning.
Okay.
Now, on the other hand, I know how to do all this work. And because I know how to explain it, um,
Yep.
it's an easier sell. So
Yeah.
if you're going to use some other vendor,
Yeah.
best to be taught how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you get a commission or like is that 10 or 20% that you take for giving them the work?
No,
Nope.
um, typically I'll almost double their cost.
Gotcha. Okay, even better than I thought. I was going to say, no, I do it for free. I'm going, no, you don't. So, 'cause-
Oh,
so yeah, so you can sell better. So they're going to charge it. And do you just bill directly and pay them, or do they know what you're getting paid? Like, do you keep, like, how
yeah,
public do you keep that between you and them?
I don't.
Yeah.
So they know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Sometimes they will collect for me,
Oh, good.
or I always collect the same day. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. And so good relationship for them. They're getting paid their rate, which is great. It's not like they have to give you a kickback off their rate. You're getting paid because you have the client relationship. If they tried to steal the client, not talking to anybody, Market Rainbow back in the day, trying to give him work to re-dye carpets and fix bleach spots, and next thing you know, he's pitching to steal the client. Well, guess what? Mark never got from me ever again. You know what I mean? Like, you're not referring somebody who's going to try and steal your clients, because we were giving them quite a bit of work until we gave them zero. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
honorable people with the right attitude and understanding that there's a in with you to get work. And especially if they don't have to discount their prices, it's like their full rate, you get more,
Yeah.
win-win for everybody. So
Yeah. To give you an example, air ducts last year uh, was 145,000.
yeah, your take on it for jobbing it out to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And
and
that,
again, we do know the houses that you're in aren't just, some of them aren't just one system, right? Like heating or
no,
cooling or whatever. It's like the bigger the house, the more you got three or four furnace systems, three of them, and you've got, the guy has to know what they're doing. They have to know how to do zone bags, just almost like commercial. They have to understand the system well enough. So you're going to be trusting the right person in there anyways. That's a better business owner already, who isn't just, a guy with a pig nose blower or a van with billows on it, who just wants to rattle through a bunch of dryer vents and some, quick 10 register houses. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
yeah.
I've a house that had 200 registers.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it would be better to job that out to somebody who loves doing that than it is to try and either have a crew that will do it for you consistently, or we both know that the ideal carpet cleaning tech who works on fabric and upholstery and area rugs and stuff like that isn't necessarily the ideal duct cleaning tech. It's a whole different
Yeah.
service, a different feeling about it. Everything about it is like, yeah. And it's the guy that's good with upholstery and fabrics and stuff like that finds it way too mechanical and, industrial for them. Right. So it's not their specialty at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have guys that are better at upholstery and
Yeah.
guys that are better at carpets.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
cool.
cross the people.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to do it. That's that again, know what your limitations. Again, my buddy PJ painting lines now. He's got one guy. Maybe at some point that guy spins off, PJ just becomes an investor and the guy runs the whole business and does that because he likes that. But that's not a guy that likes to deal with area rugs and meticulous cleaning. That's a guy that likes more of the on his team, that also doesn't mind doing, industrial cleanups and things like that. Right. That's
Right.
his thing. So if you get one good, if they leave, you've got a problem. Right. So it is better to sort of say, hey, I've got somebody who wants to do this for the next 20 years. Why don't we just give them the work? And as you said, you can sell the customer, your team can sell the customer at the better pricing anyways. So, yeah.
My
Because
leather,
yeah, go ahead.
my leather guy, I met
Yeah.
working for my father, and
Mm.
then I stopped working with my dad. I went off on my own, and when my dad would get a phone call for leather, he'd send the guy out to give the bid, and I
Mm.
give the bid myself. And
Yeah.
I knew what his numbers were.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I would give my bid, and 9 times out of 10, I would get the job over
Mm.
the same guy. So the only issue I had was when we got the job, the same guy would go out and do my work.
Yeah.
That was only an issue a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, who was it that said, I can't remember who it was, but your the price you charge is all related to your ability to sell, right? I would put an ethics in there, like ethically sell. Like there's obviously, you're going to do the job better, guarantee it more, do just like, again, they're buying the brand Mark the carpetbagger. You're going to make sure it's done well. And for that, there is a surcharge. There is a premium. Like you're providing the better brand, the better service, the better all of that. So there is, like, again, that's why you can get a coffee at McDonald's for 99 cents or whatever, but you can also buy, a foo-foo latte, whatever, at Starbucks or beyond, even the higher end, at like $20. It's still caffeine in a cup. But the difference is the presentation, the feel, the education. We're humans. We buy on emotion and then try and justify with logic afterwards. And when we sell, if we can sell it that way,
Yeah.
here's what I'd like you to, here's the feelings I would like to, imprint upon you, so that when you make a decision, you're based on, I feel Mark's going to do a better job and his company's going to be. And again, if the guy that shows up is the same guy, so be it. You know what I mean? But it's you sold them, a value that will have them coming back. Like if you're too goofy high, they won't come back next time anyways. So you've got to be reasonable, but you do not have to be a commodity at all.
Right.
Right. So what would you say? Like, we kind of famous last words. You've met a lot of carpet cleaners over the years. You've met a lot of people in our industry. You've seen, guy competitors in your area come and go. And what would you say to the younger class of guys in our industry, the guys that are in their late 20s, early 30s, having just been into this for the, last 4, 5, 6 years, and haven't really got to any sort of growth or scale? They're kind of still figuring themselves out. What kind of advice would you give to the, those guys going back to the, the 28, 29, 30-year-old, Mark Goodman himself? What would you say to these guys is really where they should hang their hat, chase the business, if they're going to?
You might want to join some of these places like the CFI, the Cleaning Fabricator Institute, because you're going to meet people that want to help you. And it's a great place to learn.
Yeah.
And you can look on the internet and watch a lot of videos, but I would say one of the best places is probably the CFI has meetings every month. And or you could find like yourself and stuff. We are very approachable.
Yeah. And I think it is an education thing. I think you've got to be a student of life and a student of business. So it's, if you're driving around in your truck and you're listening to country music, heavy metal, K-pop, I don't care what it is, or you're driving around learning how to, during the day, how to grow a business, how to think, how to sell better, how to communicate better. Like, you're upping your skills, just like you would if you're a doctor, you have to go back for continuing education. You're in real estate, you have to go back. You're in insurance, right? It's all required to maintain your certificate. In carpet cleaning, it's, or your own business, running your own service business, it kind of isn't. But, and I think a lot of people forget that there are things like you should join the associations. You should get around the other people that are pushing themselves forward, learning their craft better. You have that resource that way, and learning how to sell and grow a business better.
Yeah.
Because we are in an industry that 85% never get out of the truck. 2% only ever sell it for the price of the trucks, and less than half of 1% make it past 7 figures. Well, why is that? Well, a lot of that is because we kind of get in our own way and think we know everything and don't learn the missing pieces from the people that have already gone there, right? We might learn how to clean something on the forum, but we haven't learned how to build the business from somebody who is grown an enterprise like you. One of the reasons why we do these podcasts, right, is to say, hey, let's change your mindset a little bit. There is who you know, how you meet them, how you approach them.
I had another cleaner come to me and go, Mark, I want to buy your business. And what I've learned by talking to you is that I spend way too much of my time learning how to clean. And I didn't spend enough time learning the business. And I should have done it your way. And honestly, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. But you, on your own, credit where credit is due. I started in a town of 30,000 people and had to hustle to $1 million business because I didn't know what I didn't know. You started in the right town with the right people, and understood the gift of going out and introducing and meeting people, and the gift of sales and the gift of conversation,
Yeah,
is invaluable. There's like, it opens so many doors. So
it
the
really,
more you can do that, even if you're doing it red-faced at first because you feel like a fraud or a phony at first, whatever, the more you can do that, the more you'll stand out against everybody else who just won't.
right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate the conversation. I will definitely publish this out everywhere. If anybody has any questions or anything like that for Mark, obviously, as always, comment in the comments on Spotify, YouTube, whatever. We'll pass them along to him. Keep an eye on what he's doing. Watch everything that's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a couple of people that I met in the CFI.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Find a mentor for sure. Like, I mean, if you're mentoring people, my gosh, great for them. You know what I mean? Like, and I had mentors early in the day and then became a mentor. Same idea. Like, it's like, give back, right? The go-giver again. But, I had people that took me under their wing when I was, 26, 27, and met Dr. John Harvey, who was a CEO and a business consultant who happened to own a cleaning business on the side. I met him at that, but then learned business from him. You know what I mean? Because I was a guitarist in a band, not a university graduate, right? As they say. So, you know what I mean? It's like, do that and engage. Know your competitors, meet them, be friends with as many as you can, as long as they're not assholes, right? Like, make a community out of it. You might be able to get a hand. You might find that duct cleaner, that the guy that can help out with the other stuff and create that relationship because you've met. And we actually used to have meetups at the Jack Astors, and just a bunch of carpet cleaners. Let's get together and have some wings and talk shop and laugh, once every couple months, kind of idea. Just to decades ago, 20, 30 years ago, just to know a few of them. Not everybody showed up, but the word got out to everybody. You're allowed to. We could have conversations. Yeah.
that's the reason I go to these CFI meetings, is
Yeah.
to catch up with my friends.
Yeah.
And everybody, like even yourself, came at me with Cleaner to the Stars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a couple.
Yeah, you've got a lot of wisdom to share, and I appreciate you jumping on this call. Any famous last words before we let you go? Anything that you want to put out to the audience that anything at all? Any connections? Any sage advice?
Baby steps.
Okay.
When you clean, baby steps. Don't think you know it all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that you can clean anything you want. Baby step it. You get in trouble when you think you know it all.
Yeah.
I'm the only person that's ever used my insurance.
That's telling right there. So you're the only one that the team's not allowed to screw up. You'll give it the run.
Well, it's because being the owner allows you a little more
Yep.
leeway.
Yep.
The problem was, again, my ego cost me about $4,000.
Yeah.
I thought for sure I could clean these elevator corridors, and I did, but I also lightened them all up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, not bad. We've had it where I bought a Haitian couch, love seat and chair. One of our technicians was left on the job and shouldn't have been, and too early on. So we bought it through insurance, had to replace it, but I made sure we got it back at the shop, and it became the learn how to clean Haitian cotton pieces. Like, we would just soak them, destroy them, yellow them, get them back again, teach the guys, so that as we ran into that, they were just more skilled, right? So every now and then a mistake can be a learning experience for everything else. So
Yeah. If you don't learn through your mistakes, there's your mistake.
yeah.
You
There
have,
we go. I think that's the title of our podcast too. I think that's exactly it. So yeah,
John,
perfect.
thank you so much.
Hey, no, I appreciate the chat as always, my friend. And yeah, for everybody else, just any questions for Mark, then just in the comments, we'll pass them along. And yeah, join your local association and get involved and be the guy that stands out in your marketplace, because we know most of them won't. So with that said, thanks for sticking around for the Carpet Cleaner Success podcast, and we will see you all next time.